Hey friends, I'm Donna Amadon, your spiritual fitness coach, and today we'll be talking about how to be content. About 100 years ago, there was a comic strip about the McGinnis family who always felt pressured to keep up with the lifestyle of their neighbors, the Joneses. If Mrs. Jones went to the matinee, then Mrs. McGinnis wanted to go to the matinee. If Mrs. Jones wore fancy clothes, then Mrs. McGinnis wanted to wear fancy clothes. Well, this concept of comparing and keeping up resonated with so many Americans that the phrase, keeping up with the Joneses, the name of the comic strip, became a common catchphrase. Now, 100 years ago, people might have compared their lifestyles to 2 or 3 neighbors. But now, and you know this, with social media, we not only have a few friends, we have 10, 20, or maybe even 2,000 friends on social media. And we're watching their vacations to the islands, their work successes, their kitchen remodels, and their shiny cars. And if we're not careful, we can scroll and scroll and scroll and then sink into the pit of discontent. But today, friends, I want us to go back to the Bible to find encouragement from the Apostle Paul as he wrote young Timothy. 1 Timothy 6:6 says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world." Now, let's pause for a moment and think about this picture Paul is painting. We bring nothing into the world, and we take nothing out. Now, I have 2 children, and when they came into the world, they had nothing. Nothing on their hands, nothing on their feet, nothing on their little bodies. And Paul uses this very vivid picture to convey a powerful point. Just like we bring nothing into the world, we take nothing out. Our home, the clothes we wear, the car we drive, that impressive title at work, the accomplishments, none of that goes with us. None. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? And I love what Paul says next. He says, "But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content." Now, if that's not countercultural, I don't know what is. Because the world says, and you know this, if we want to be happy, you must do more. You must have more. You must keep up with everyone else. You see, I think the reason so many people are unhappy is because they think their happiness will come from things. But Paul says, no. If we have food and clothing, we can be content. And Paul doesn't stop there. He gives us one more warning. Verse 9 says, "But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction." See, Paul's not kidding around here. He's saying, guys, if you chase after these things, after riches, after the things, it's going to ensnare you. It is a trap. It is going to drive you into foolish and harmful things. Do you hear the passion in Paul's voice? He's saying, slow down. Stop the chase. None of this is going with you. If you can be godly and content, then that is great gain. So here's my challenge today, and this is a little different. I want you to think about what you own. Think about your house. Think about that car you drive, the clothes you wear, that furniture, or even that position you have at work. And remind yourself that nothing is going with you. Nothing. And if we can have food and clothing, with these we can be content. This, my friend, is the place of peace. Now go, win today.